Well, hey there, YouTube. How's everybody doing out there today? We finally made it to the end of the week, ready for the weekend. Going to an Earth Day celebration this weekend, and I wanted to finish the week off with a very tasty, easy, tropical, raw vegan recipe for the summer. If you're not already following me, go hit that subscribe button now so you can come back and check out some more of my content. I'm starting to actually come up with a few more recipes, but this particular recipe right here is another one that I've revamped. Like I mentioned in my latest recipe videos, I've been going back through my kind of little hodgepodge recipe book and just tightening up my recipes a little bit, trying to pay a little bit more attention to what I put of each thing and how much of each thing I put in there, so it's a little bit more easily shareable. Now I have some specific amounts that I use for this particular recipe today, but this one is a pretty loose recipe. You don't have to really use these exact amounts. And I'll kind of explain that to you as we get going. This was kind of like a throwback, a little flashback to living down in Costa Rica here, because back, and I thought about how special it is to make this here, because especially this time of the year, I have to make sure I can be able to get mangoes. I can be able to get that other special ingredient I'm going to share. And yeah, it was just an everyday thing. Like in Costa Rica, if I decided I want to make this for dinner tonight, I could do it any night of the week. I just go to the store and I get the stuff. So without any further ado, nice kind of yellowish color. Actually, this has about the same color. No, I'm not just re-showing that corn video I did the other day. This is, like I said, mango. Gave you the main ingredient right out of the bat. But what I have here is a nice, it's kind of got a nice little balance of the fruit and the fat. I know some of the really hardcore people out there don't mix that stuff, so you might not like this one. But in this particular version, I've got 3 cups of mango. It was 2 mangoes. I'd say it's about 2 average sized Tommy mangoes. A half a cup of fresh coconut. Yep, I got the machete out. Haven't had the machete out in a long time. Cracked the coconut, dug it out of there, cleaned it up a little bit, put it in. So 3 cups of mango, half a cup of coconut, a healthy piece of ginger. I didn't really measure that. I guess maybe about an inch, but use your own discretion on the ginger. Put a splash of coconut aminos, 2 teaspoons of curry powder, a little bit of Himalayan salt, and I like just a little bit of kick in everything I do. Now, probably a jalapeno would have been better, but I didn't have a jalapeno, so, and I didn't want it to be hot. I didn't want it to be spicy. I just wanted just a little something in there, so I just put a little bit of cayenne pepper, just a little bit, because you can mess up a recipe real quick by going overboard with cayenne. I've done it before. And that's it. And like a lot of the recipes, this is really thick. This is really, really thick here. I added no liquid other than the liquid aminos, the coconut aminos, and as you can see, that thing is thick, thick, thick. It was actually, I had to, kind of work my gears a little bit to get it to blend. And what I've got here is just a nice plate of zucchini. Now, I don't have a spiralizer anymore. I used to have one of those little handheld ones, but when I sold the house and got rid of everything in the kitchen last year, I hadn't been using a lot of them. And I figured if I start doing spirals again, that I can pick one up, and I probably will. There's a Bed Bath & Beyond. But if you don't have one, you don't need any fancy tools. Most people have a peeler in their kitchen, so I just got my zucchini and peeled it off. It's more kind of in, I don't know what you would call that. Is that a linguine size pasta there? But anyhow, we've got our zucchini pasta. And I actually got to stir this up a little bit, because in the time it was taking me to set up the camera, this stuff gets thick. Very, very thick. And just going to pour it over. Having an early lunch today. It's about 11 o'clock. And I didn't have a lot for breakfast, so I am pretty hungry. And just make it nice like that. I'm not all that fancy. Yeah, let's go ahead and get all of it. I don't know what I'm saving that for. And voila. Now, if you follow me over on Instagram, you just know I'm not fancy. I live by myself. I'm sure I could do something if I was actually making food for people and I wanted to be all pretty in presentation. But That's it. I just basically poured it on top of there, and I'm going to go sit down and eat this and really think about what I'm eating. Like a lot of times I try to be, I'm not one of those people, I'm not going to lie. I know people talk about how they'll just sit down, no TV on, not listening to any podcast. They want no distractions. I'm not quite into that. But I have become very conscious over the past 2 or 3 years of taking in my food, and I don't just sit down blindly and just wolf it down and be like, wow, okay, that was good. I really try to be grateful, and I really try to inject a little bit of gratitude when I'm sitting down with it. I actually try to not just dive right into it. I will literally take my plate, look at it a little bit. I'll smell it a little bit because it smells so good with that curry and what have you in there, and just be real grateful, for what I'm eating, because I'm grateful for my food every day. Because some people struggle to have enough to eat, and just for just a little kind of put it in perspective, people are always talking about the cost here. It's like, I totally encourage people to do the best they can, but somewhere the other day, I think it was on Instagram, I had bananas and strawberries for breakfast, and this person was acting like I'm some sort of bougie person, like, well, what about people that can't afford fresh fruit? I'm like, sweetheart, I am in South Alabama. If I ever get to the point that I cannot afford bananas, to be quite honest, I'd probably be slinging down on the corner somewhere, doing whatever I got to do, because if I can't afford bananas here and in most places I've ever been, then I can't afford anything else, and I'm not going to eat. So it's not a matter of whether it's raw or whatever. We all do the best that we can, but also too, this lifestyle does not have to be expensive. You do not have to buy all these fancy ingredients. You do not have to buy all the fancy gadgets. This probably could even be done in just a regular blender. The one investment I will say, if by any means you can get it, is to get yourself a high-speed blender. High-speed blender is going to make your life in the kitchen a lot more easy, and it'll also give you textures that you can't necessarily get in just a regular blender. But I've made all these recipes when I was living down in Costa Rica, and for a while there, all I was making them out of was like a cheapo blender. I did have a NutriBullet too for a while. I could make stuff in there. So I've learned to make stuff in everything, so you don't have to have super expensive equipment, and you don't have to buy super expensive food. But anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you here again Monday. Peace.